Welcome to the Sports Card Talk Show. Sports Card Talk Show with Kevin Anderson and Lorn Walker, the Skull Brothers.
Welcome to episode 109 of the Sports Card Talk Show. I got an interview lined up tonight. Who's coming on tonight?
Steve from vintagecardsteve.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. I forgot to get the trivia down, man. We got to do one of these real quick.
People are on to us by you asking me the same questions over and over again. So.
That was totally funny, too. I was like, wow, I didn't realize. I'm like, I thought the questions were familiar. All right. This is a number 2 on it. What eventual North Stars GM and head coach was a 1973 first-round pick of both the Montreal Canadiens and the WHA's Minnesota Fighting Saints?
What year?
Well, he was a 1973 first-round pick.
Okay, 1973. I have no idea.
Bob Gainey. B, what legendary Vikings running back? Oh, you better get this one right. What legendary Vikings running back had a son who played in the NFL for the Bills, Texans, Giants, and 49ers?
Holy cow. Legendary Vikings running back?
Yep. Had a son who played in the NFL for the Bills, Texans, Giants, and 49ers.
I'm going to have to say Chuck Foreman.
Yep.
I'm guessing his son is Deontay Foreman then?
Possibly, yep. Must be, yeah.
I don't know that he ever played, though.
Just until he got hurt really bad that one time on that run. Remember that? In what country was Ricky Rubio born?
Oh, shoot. Spain.
Yep. What NHL team did Craig Leopold own before purchasing the Minnesota Wild in 2008? That's a callback from another show.
Gosh, is it the Nashville Predators?
Yep. Oof. I'm gonna put this at the bottom now, so we shouldn't hit it again for a
3
while.
out of 4.
Not too bad. Not too bad.
That old hockey history stuff, I am not good at.
Me neither. All right, man. Should we dial them up?
Yeah, let's do
jacked,
it.
Yeah.
Ring-a-ling ding dong.
All right, we got Steve on the line. How you doing tonight, Steve?
Oh, pretty good. How about you guys?
Hey, Steve. Doing great.
Yeah, we're doing good, man. Glad to finally be able to work it out and get you on. I know you're schedule's a little hectic, and we were a little hectic there for a while, and glad we're able to work it out.
Yeah, thank you guys. Between work and just all the stuff going on, it's been kind of chaotic.
Yeah, that's for sure. For sure. So why don't you tell everybody a little bit about you're on YouTube only, right?
Yeah, no Instagram, no Facebook, just YouTube strictly.
Yeah. So that's where people can find you, because we do Instagram and Twitter a little bit, and we'll be putting out information. So yeah, great channel. But let's talk about your collecting history a little bit. I'm guessing you might have been more of a collect all the time, maybe. I could be wrong, but why don't you let us know your history a little bit?
All right, yeah. So the history was, back when, probably as far back 5, 6 years old, I remember my parents would buy me like packs of 80s baseball cards, 87, 88. And I'd sit there with my dad, and we'd watch like Sunday Night Baseball, and I just remember sorting through all the cards and all that kind of stuff, and with him, and just kept collecting. I love the 87 set, the 89 set of Topps, and oh gosh, let's see, through probably junior high, I still collected pretty heavy with just baseball mostly. And then in high school, I kind of got into basketball, hockey, football. Kind of collected all that kind of stuff.
Oh, okay.
Still into baseball, quite a bit. So, in high school, still collected. 90s was my favorite kind of years, with all the cool inserts and all that kind of stuff they put in there.
Yeah.
So, let's see. After high school, I was still going pretty strong, and then kind of right after high school, I did stop there for quite a long time. So. And then probably 7, 8 years ago, 6, 7 years ago, picked it back up pretty heavy, and just kind of took off from there. So
been going pretty strong since then.
What got you back into the hobby?
I'm just going to ask that.
I don't know, really. I just remember telling my wife, girlfriend at the time, just kind of wanted to pick this stuff back up, getting a little more positive stuff into my life and, not hang out with, some different people.
Okay. Sure.
Kind of, I don't know, it's just been kind of positive for me ever since.
Oh, cool, man. Cool.
Yeah, I see your collection, so I was like, this guy never quit collecting. Because
I kind of assumed that too. I'm like, wow, man, you got a incredible collection.
Yeah, it's a real labor of love. I mean, all the binders you got, and just like, holy cow. I assumed you were older than we were. I assumed that you been
never stopped.
Yeah, putting these binders together forever. You have quite a knowledge of the history of baseball. It's pretty.
Yeah, I do quite a bit of, just studying and all that kind of stuff, read back the cards, go online and just kind of, read all that kind of stuff. So it's pretty interesting stuff.
That's really cool.
Yeah. My passion is football. So we did the Mount Rushmore series this year and actually got outside of collecting Vikings cards for that reason, because I'm like, there's so many great stories, and you definitely seem like you appreciate the history of the sport of baseball.
Oh yeah. Yep.
So whenever you were a kid watching baseball games with your kid or your dad, you said you watched Sunday night. I assumed that because you were a Cubs fan that
they did watch a lot of WGN. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of figured maybe you were pulled in by Harry Carey and Steve Stone and those guys back in the 80s.
Oh yeah. I remember, watching, the day games for the Cubs with Andre Dawson and Sean Dunn and Ryan Sandberg, Mark Grace. Yeah.
Jody Davis, Keith Moreland.
That was a hair before my time, but yeah.
Okay. Maybe that was me. I remember I was actually a Cubs fan before I was a Twins fan because of WGN, and in the summertime watching day games on TV in the summer. Summers were going to the swimming pool, watching baseball, going to Little League in the morning. Yeah. So, I kind of figured that you must have been a WGN Cubs fan.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's kind of, WGN did get me on the Cubs, but yeah, Sunday Night Baseball kind of got me going on the kind of the card collecting.
Nice. What are some of your other collecting interests outside of the Cubs, sports wise, like for football or any of the other sports? What are you collecting?
I do have like a small Patriots PC going on for mostly Drew Bledsoe, Terry Glenn, a little bit of Curtis Martin. And so the bad thing with my football collection is when I collect all that stuff, I gave my whole football collection away to a person, so and they ended up selling the whole collection, and I was his son wanted to get started in collecting, so I was like, I just wanted to strictly focus on baseball.
Sure.
And yeah, almost my whole football collection got pretty much donated, and then he sold it off. So that wasn't very good to hear.
Wow.
So
yeah. What's that?
Well, you're a Patriots fan, but your favorite quarterback's Drew Bledsoe. Why not Tom Brady?
Oh, just kind of the younger years, watching Bledsoe when I was probably in junior high and stuff. I don't know, just kind of always latched on to Bledsoe, and I respect Brady.
Yeah, so it's a connection to your childhood kind of deal.
Yeah,
younger days.
Cool.
Yeah, I know. You just recently posted a video of getting a little mini helmet in the mail, right?
Yeah, from Burke Knowledge. I want to tell you guys that what you guys connected our channels together, and he's been an awesome supporter to my channel, and what you guys do yourselves, connecting all these channels, and all. I think that's awesome.
Oh, we're having a blast doing it, man. We're so grateful that people are willing to come on, and it's just cool building those relationships. I'm going to go on a little side tangent because I'm going to give you credit for something. And I was telling Lauren, I'm like, I'm so jacked about this. And I'm not going to tell you exactly what it is because I got to acquire a few things and then I'm going to make a separate video and shout you out. But I just built a side PC and we're going to do a big episode on it. And I thought I was done doing little side PCs, and then watching you gave me an idea. So be on the lookout for that. Hopefully in the next month, I'll be able to acquire what I wanted to acquire. So it's just cool how that happens. Like I had more fun collecting in the last 2 weeks than I have in a long time because I was really just not focused on anything. And then this first little side PC got me pretty excited. And then this last one, I don't know how many messages Lauren and I had last night just about it even. So Thanks. You don't know what it's about yet, Steve, but thanks.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah. So I was like so excited about it. Yeah, it was crazy. I wish I could have them today because I want to show you, but we'll have to wait. So yeah, it's fun how that is working out. Just the connections and all that fun stuff. So you are Big Red.
Yeah,
is that
Big Red,
right?
Nebraska.
Big Red, Nebraska.
You were born and raised, and have you lived in Nebraska your whole life then too?
Yeah, born and raised in Nebraska. I was kind of raised in a small town, by the Kansas-Nebraska border, not too far. And then my parents moved me up to would be Omaha, Nebraska.
Oh, okay.
And I spent quite a bit of my high school and 20s through there, and then met my wife, and now we live in a small town just north of Omaha. So
cool.
Kind of settled down.
I think my parents live closer to you than they live in middle of nowhere, South Dakota, in a little town called Winter. If you've heard of Winter, South Dakota, maybe not. It's pretty tiny.
No, I've never heard of Winter.
Yeah. I grew up in a small town too. I liked growing up in a small town in the middle of nowhere, North Dakota. So, yeah.
It's a different kind of lifestyle, but I like it.
Oh, I love. That's where I want to end up, is in a small town in the middle of nowhere.
Enjoy the sunsets and the.
Oh God, dude! You guys, we have really nice sunrises out here, but out in the hills, got way better sunsets.
Oh yeah, the Black Hills area.
Yeah. So you are. I got to. There's a player who played in the 1990s for Nebraska, who is I got to give a big thanks to, because he's directly responsible, I believe, for the Vikings being able to draft Randy Moss in 98. Do you know which player that is?
Oh gosh, let's go to 98.
This player was drafted a couple years before that.
So it'd be about the Frazier era.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, is it defensive or offensive player?
Yeah, offensive player.
Tommy Amon Green.
Tommy's running mate on that team.
Lawrence Phillips, Amon Green.
Yeah, Lawrence Phillips.
Phillips.
Yeah, the Rams drafted him pretty high, and he was kind of a flaky dude. And, so the Rams got burned on drafting him. I think he was a first-round pick. And so when Moss came out a couple years later and he had character issues, a lot of teams shied away from drafting him, even though he was absolutely should have been right up there with Peyton Manning as one of the top picks in that draft. And he fell all the way down to 22, maybe. I think the Vikings. Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah. And it was because a lot of teams were scared that he was the next Larry Phillips or Lawrence Phillips.
Yeah, Phillips had he passed away probably about 4 or 5 years ago in prison.
Oof. Yeah, he had a troubled life. It's never nice to hear those stories.
No. Yeah, but Randy Moss ended up having a Hall of Fame career, so
yeah.
There we go.
For sure.
Say, that's another thing you did a reaction video for or a response video rather for a giveaway, just recently, and yeah, the Gregg Jefferies deal was so nostalgic to me too. Like, and actually, like reading the comments on on a video and stuff. I started collecting when the Twins won the '87 World Series. So '87 Topps was like, that's the set for me as far as baseball goes. So the very next year, I'm collecting 1988 Donruss and 88 Fleer and 88 Topps, and everybody's chasing Gregg Jefferies that year. I had no idea until reading the comments that, like, because I started in basically in '88. I had no idea that he was the very first like guy that people speculated on buying. Really, like he started the. I just assumed that in '87 everybody was buying, Mark McGuire's and Kevin Seitzers and Jose all those Bo Jacksons and Barry Bonds and stuff. But I always assumed every single year there was a top rookie that everyone was chasing at the beginning of the season. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's from what I've researched and looked up. He was kind of the originator of all that.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, and I lived it, and I didn't even know that was that was the first year that it even happened.
And it's crazy because it's so prevalent now that everybody chases rookies that just kind of assume that's how it's always been.
Yeah.
So that's kind of fun.
Yeah, every single year, like you're seeing these dudes like Gavin Lux and guys that you've never heard of before, really, like their cards going for crazy money when they haven't done a thing on the field. I think that's what's really cool about a lot of you vintage collectors. The guys that you guys collect have already been there and done that.
Yeah. I personally don't invest a lot of money into rookies.
Mm-hmm.
For the new rookies, like I'll drop some good money on like a Nolan Ryan rookie, but not.
Right. Oh yeah.
I'm not going to spend quite a bit of money on Gavin Lux, who's I don't think he's even played yet.
Right.
That's just my philosophy, but
yeah, and it's cool talking to all different collectors because I've really took a turn too towards some of the older players, especially in basketball recently, like picking up on-card autos of like James Worthy and some of those players that I remember back in the 80s and 90s, and picking them. I mean, I got an on-card out of 10 for like $10. like if that was today's superstar rookie, like he was considered back then, that'd be big money.
Yeah, thousands probably, it seems like.
Yeah. So that's been a lot of fun. And a lot of that has to do with, like I said, watching everybody and seeing different ways and looking at things differently.
I love the hobby so much that like every single time we have a guest that has like some new idea, like it causes me to want to go chase that idea a little bit, because the passion that the collectors have for what they do is contagious for me. And I like chasing rookies. I like collecting vintage. I like doing it all. And then you just kind of go, I don't got enough money to do all this stuff.
I agree there.
Yeah. I think you had mentioned that you don't open very often, but occasionally you do. Like, did I hear that right? I think that's what I heard you say.
Yeah. So I'll just go to like, I'll just buy a little hanger or blaster boxes. I don't really get too much into the $200 boxes and all that stuff. But that's just fill my binders up, kind of.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So not to really chase about, the autograph. If I buy an autograph, I usually prefer like eBay or something, just so I know what I'm getting.
Right.
That's just my way of doing it, but everybody has it.
For sure. I know you talked about it on your video, but it's cool that you set goals. And that's another thing that I'm kind of taking away from watching. Well, especially, you have been watching for a while, and that just stuck with me. I'm like, I got to start having more goals, because I'm just buying willy-nilly until this last side PC and this new one that I'm going to do. Like, that's a great idea. And I know that I probably should have thought about it, but I liked your goals. I don't know if you want to touch on it a little bit here, or.
Yeah, that's fine. Beginning of the year, I started off with kind of targeting the Sandy Koufax rookie and the Pete Rose rookie, and nailed out the Sandy Koufax. And then working on the Pete Rose. I don't know if I'm making it a goal by fall, by the end of fall, to try to get it, but we'll see what happens.
Cool.
Do you have a second year Pete Rose?
I do, yes.
Yeah, I honestly like the second year Pete Rose card better than the first year Pete Rose card.
I do too, yeah.
I
think that Johnny Bench second year card is a beautiful card. That's one of my favorite cards of all time.
I know that I caught one of your videos and you show off the Rod Carew second year card, and I like that better than his first year card too. A lot of those rookie cards back and then with having a couple the couple rookies on it or whatever, with Rose 4 rookies on, are they all 4 rookies on that card?
Yeah, the floating head. Yeah.
Yeah, those it's cooler to see them on their own personal, that first personal card of theirs is to me, I think, better than the quad rookie card.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I prefer the single person over the multiple.
I like the trophy cards. I like the trophies they always put on the cards back then too, and they brought that back, obviously, with the Topps rookie. I always like the little trophies on the card.
The gold cups, yeah. Those are I actually like those more than the rookies.
Yeah,
nice.
Although in like '87 with the future stars, when they had that rainbow go across them, I really like.
Yeah, like the Bo Jackson one. Yeah.
The Bo Jackson to me is like one of the most beautiful cards ever. Man, I love the color on that card. It's so vibrant.
Yeah, just everything just matches really well, it seems like.
Cool.
And then I know that you said that you obviously all vintage collectors want to get the mantle, and you said you don't care if it's altered, a grade 1, whatever. You just want one. And so once you land the Rose, is that your next thing you're shooting for?
The 52 mantle. No, I still like to get I don't have the 53 mantle. I'd like to get that before the 52.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. My kind of how I collect, I'll kind of tell you guys, I guess, is I don't care about the PSA grade or the SGC grade. If it looks presentable, because I'm just a collector. I don't think I've ever sold a card in my life. So as long as it looks kind of presentable for me, I'm happy with it.
That's cool.
So, yeah, it's kind of it's kind of sounds stupid, but I don't care what that number says.
The number's kind of, I guess I feel like sometimes it's just there. Like you said, if the color looks good, if no creases, I know I've heard you say that, and I guess I'm good with that too. I just recently got a card, and I was more important that it just looked nice. I didn't really care so much about the grade on it.
Yeah, and that's just how I do it. I know that some people, they won't take anything under a 5 or a 6, but you can get a 3 that looks like a 5 to me, I'll take it.
For sure. And the savings that goes with it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, you've admitted that you're a humongous Star Wars nerd on one of your videos. Do you have a pretty nice Star Wars collection other than the photos, the art on your wall, or you got you collect action figures and all that, comic books?
Oh yeah, I got just the action figures. I got a whole wall and shelves just filled with what are like the 3.75 action figures. All sorts of characters and everything from A New Hope up to the new ones. So,
nice.
Clone Wars, all sorts of stuff.
Do you got the vintage toys, or do you got all the remakes that they made in the 90s?
Mostly remakes.
Yeah.
I'm not a serious collector on it. Just kind of grab it if I see it type thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and you mean I've never watched the animated series, so I have no idea who were talking about when you named your favorite character.
Oh, Captain Rex, yeah. It's the Clone Wars is, even though it's animated, it gets pretty deep. Like there's a lot of Jedi that die, and, you get kind of attached to some of the clone troopers and kind of.
Yeah, I remember watching your episode on that and mentioned the Clone Wars, and I'm like, I think I got to start watching that. I've been hearing a lot about how it, like you just said, it's really in depth. It's really, really a good series.
I've heard the same thing. I've always heard about how amazing it was. Me and Kevin actually were talking about it before we rang you up today, and I always heard that they like canceled the series and there was no conclusion to it. But he's like, no, they just dropped the final, like the last episode a few weeks ago. So did they reboot it when Disney picked it up, or?
So when Disney bought out the Star Wars kind of franchise or whatever you want to call it, they canceled the Clone Wars, and I think it was pretty popular with the fans, and they didn't like that they canceled it. So 4 or 5 years later, they revamped it and kind of put the final touches to the last season.
Oh, cool.
Kind of sum everything up.
Yeah. Okay. So there is a conclusion. Like I heard a lot of fans hated the way they just like canceled it without, like there was no end to it. There was no conclusion to it. So, but now there is.
Yeah, they summed everything up now.
Cool.
Nice.
Cool.
Nice.
You're happy with the final product?
Yeah, but I'm an easy please person, so I like everything.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's fun. I actually got I have a 13-year-old. Well, she's 13 now, and my older son and my nephew. Every year we would go when they did this last little reboot. So for the last 6 years, it was a big to do. We made a big deal about it. We all wore our hats and our shirts. So we're kind of into it too.
My kid called me this year. This is the last Star. I still haven't seen the last Star Wars movie yet. My kid called me like the last day it was gonna be. I work. Get up at 3:00 in the morning, so late nights are not on my agenda. So usually we go to a matinee. And the last day that the movie was going to be a matinee, he called me up, and I'm like, "Yeah, dude, if you want to go." And then he calls me because we've always done it. And once 2:00 rolled around, he's like, "Dad, I don't feel like going to it." So I still haven't seen the last movie. Yeah.
It's a fun one.
Have you ever done any of the cards? I've seen people open some of the Star Wars cards.
No, I've never done any of the Star Wars cards. I watch I don't know if you guys, Jedi Styles, he does quite a bit of the Star Wars cards, but I like watching them. I just kind of really only collect a little bit of mostly just baseball, it seems like anymore.
Right.
I did pick up Irving Fryer rookie card 2 weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
Is that 85 tops? Is that right?
Yeah.
The black one?
Yeah, the black border. Yep.
Yeah.
So I'll still get one day. I'm going to show you. I'll start showing some of my football stuff. But
yeah. I remember you mentioning that. That'll be fun.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. Just kind of want to. I've got some old like a Mario Lemieux rookie card. I don't know.
Oh, nice.
So I do have quite a bit of hockey too. I just never. I don't know. It just seems like I'm still focused on baseball. I need to kind of open my, not mind, but just kind of expand it out a little bit.
Right. Well, you seem pretty, like you said, pretty focused on that baseball, and that's cool too.
Who is your favorite Cubby player of all time?
Oh, Ryan Sandberg.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was figuring it was going to be one of those. I was wondering if you weren't going to say the Hawk, but
Oh, Dawson. I like Dawson too, but
Yeah.
Sandberg probably.
yeah,
Cool.
a lot of people back in those days. It was Mark Grace had quite the following too.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't get a little more attention for the Hall of Fame, but
Yeah.
that's just how it goes.
Yeah,
All these
it
names.
seems like you're a big fan of baseball, and I get the vibe that you think that that the Hall of Fame writers are a little bit too exclusive in their voting. Is just kind of the way I that's the vibe I get from you. I feel like if you were voting, you would vote for a lot more guys to get in.
Oh yeah. Clemens would be in, Bond would be in, Manny Ramirez, all those guys from the '90s that juiced. For me, I'd let him in. But
Right.
no, who else? I also think
You know
like
that
Johnny Damon. I'll go ahead.
Oh, just a lot of the guys in like they don't talk about the fact that the guys in like the like 60s and 70s they had like you know a candy jar full of like what is that called, like amphetamine or some ephedrins maybe or something. Like I don't know if you've ever like whenever I wake up and my head is killing me because I'm like my sinuses are bugging me or whatever, I'll pop a Dayquil and I actually feel better than I normally do by just taking a Dayquil. Like whatever's in Dayquil is, and that's what ball players were. They would take that stuff in like the 60s and 70s, 80s, maybe even too. So there's always been, so I kind of feel like that's almost like a performance enhancing drug back in the day.
Yeah, I never seen it like that, but yeah, that's kind of a good point.
Yeah, they say that in ball in their clubhouses they'd have like a candy jar full of these things for the ball players to take, is what I've heard. I don't know if you've heard that or not.
Just kind of pep them up, kind of.
Huh?
Just kind of peps them up, kind of, or boost them up.
Yeah. Anything, like even like the NFL stuff you can buy at GNC will trigger a performance enhancing drug test. The Vikings had a couple players, the Williams Wall, Pat and Kevin Williams, a few years back, fought the NFL for like a couple years, a suspension because the NFL wanted to suspend them for taking star caps, which is have you heard of star caps?
I never have. This is interesting.
Okay. Yeah, it's something you could pick up at GNC. Just a regular old, I know that you said you used to be a workout warrior, so I don't know if you did any of that GNC stuff or not, or if you just...
No, I never used any of that stuff.
Yeah. Speaking of that stuff, did you see that documentary is moved up with McGuire and Sosa?
I heard about that. This is actually, you guys are the second people to tell me about it.
Yeah, I think it's being moved up to like June 14th or something.
On ESPN?
Yep, ESPN.
Okay.
That should be interesting. I'm not a huge baseball guy, but I remember, when I was collecting, I was kind of big into it, like 83, 84, 85, 86, probably through 88. Then I made the switch over to basketball. And but I remember during that time, it was must-see TV.
Oh, yeah.
when those guys were on, okay, I remember they were going against each other, and it was like everybody on the edge of their seat seeing who was going to hit the next home run,
Oh, yeah. They'd even say there was a tennis match going on. They'd cut out the tennis match when Sammy Sosa was up at that. And yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. I think I'm going to actually watch that little series.
It's I actually 98, the summer of 98. I just like that's like a landmark. That's like, okay, that happened before the summer of 98 or after the summer of 98. It's kind of like that's so instilled in my brain. That was kind of like a probably my second go around with baseball. Baseball kind of died for me when Kirby Puckett had to, was forced to retire because the Twins were really bad, but I would check the box scores every day to just see if Kirby got what he did the day before, because he was, in the mid 90s, the Twins were not good, but Kirby always brought it every day. So
yeah, Kirby was one of my favorite players.
You can't find a person that followed baseball in those days that didn't like Kirby Puckett or Tony Gwynn or, Ken Griffey Jr. I mean, you can't say anything bad about those guys, really.
No, Cal Ripken.
Yeah, Cal Ripken. Yep.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, really great, just ambassadors for the game, those guys.
Yeah, they were. I mean, to me, the steroid era, as much as they say it hurt baseball, I think it really helped elevate baseball as well. Because, right after the strike, nobody cared about baseball. And
it definitely brought a level of excitement, that's for sure.
Yeah, it really bailed out baseball.
Yep. Yeah, now the writers won't let any of those guys even get a sniff of the Hall of Fame.
Oh, man. Cool. Well, we want to be respectful of your time, and we appreciate you coming on, and be looking out for Steve, Vintage Card Steve on YouTube. We'll put a link in our description there too for you. We just been loving your content, and like I said, you sparked a side PC for me. I wish I had the cards now. I still want to tell you, but I'm gonna wait, and then I'll tell you when I do the mail day. I'm so jacked.
Yeah, you guys. I always try to think of how I find some of the channels, and I don't really recall how I found you guys. But yeah, you guys have been great to just not me, but the rest of the community, and appreciate that, guys.
Thank you.
Cool.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yes.
Sometimes when we're looking, we're like, man, how do we not see that person, or how do we not see that person? and so it's really cool connecting. So like you said, I don't remember how we ended up connecting, but I'm sure glad we did. It's been awesome getting to know you, and we look forward to continuing that.
Yeah, and that Gregg Jefferies PC was kind of fun to do. And good luck to everybody in your guys' contest.
That'll be coming out before this episode actually drops. So
yeah. So if you want to hang on the line for 1 second, we'll talk for a minute off camera. We'll bring episode 109, Steve at Vintage Card Steve on YouTube, to a close.
School Brothers out.